Hello? Hello? Still can't hear me, guys. Hi, hello. Hi, my name is. Now, can you hear me now, guys? Can you hear me? One person said they can hear me. Hello, please write in the comments yes if you can hear me now. You can hear me now. So I've got two people have said they can hear me. Everyone else? My outfit slays. Thank you. Yes, so you can hear me. I can see those who are saying yes, they can hear me. Everyone can hear me now? Yes? You can hear me now? Okay, so that is fine now. The volume, the sound is better now. Okay. Right, so I thought something was wrong with my phone. I look so pretty. Thank you so much. So today it's just going to be a series of stories. These are just stories that I went through in life. My stories. I just did a live where I was telling you guys stories when I didn't realize that people couldn't hear me. And so I spent the whole 20 minutes telling you guys my stories, like different stories, and not realizing that people couldn't hear me. And so I had to end that live, right? So I'm gonna have to start that again. So I came on this live tonight to share some of the stories, my life story with you. So first of all, I'm going to begin to say that this, as a disclaimer, some of the stories will include like finance, and so I'm not, and mortgages as well. So I'm not a mortgage advisor. I'm not a finance advisor of any sort. So what I'm going to share is just about my life. So I'm just sharing stories that which is true, because things that I've gone through in life. Okay, so let's start. Okay, thank you so much. So how I'm gonna tell you guys mine and my husband's journey to getting a mortgage. How we came up with the deposit to a mortgage. So back in 2016, obviously me and my husband got married, and then we immediately wanted to have a mortgage. We wanted to buy a house. Well, obviously not cash, mortgage. And we didn't know anything about mortgage back then. All we knew is, oh, you can get a mortgage. So we started doing research. Why am I telling you my journey? So it's not just for you guys, it's also for me to come back to and remember. But if you don't want to hear it, that's fine. You don't have to listen. Okay, so we start reading around, find out what a mortgage is and how you can get one and stuff like that. So we found out all the information we needed to know. And we even went to see a mortgage advisor with the bank. Thank you. So we arranged for an appointment to see a mortgage advisor with our bank, and then they told us more about it. And so this is in UK back in 2016. So at this point, me and my husband are living in a 1-bedroom flat. So basically one small bedroom, like a single room, and with a very small bathroom and a very small kitchen. Very small kitchen. So the whole place was very tiny, wasn't the best, but it was very expensive. Every month we were paying 442 pounds a month just to live there. And that was a lot of money for us because we were not earning a lot. Um, right. So yeah, it was very expensive, 442 pounds a month for something that small, and it wasn't new, it wasn't brand, it wasn't brand new or anything like that. Um, anyway, so we lived there for a bit, and it was very difficult for us to save any money. After paying rent, bills, food, transport, and so on, things like that. At the end of the month, we have nothing to save. We couldn't save. So my husband had to take a second job. So he had previously had a day job, and then he took another job, a night job. So two jobs now. And me, I had my job, my full-time job, but I increased my hours. Thank you so much, all of you, for subscribing and for commenting. So I increased my hours. So every week, instead of working my set hours, I'll work more hours. I'll take on more shifts and stuff like that, just so that we can save. We can have a little bit saved at the end of the month. Can you still hear me, guys? Yeah, so we can have something saved. So we're working really hard. I remember my husband would come home after work during the day. He would sleep for maybe a few hours, and then in the evening we'll go to work and do a night shift, and I did the same. I would work long hours. I work night shift, day shift, weekends, all hours. We just worked. Our lives were just working, working, working. And all this is just so that we can, at the end of the month, each month, we can have some sort of amount of money left, and then we can save that. So because we needed £5,000 for deposit to get a mortgage. We did that for a year, and we're not getting anywhere. We're not saving enough even after working that much. So what we decided to do is we moved in with family where we didn't have to pay rent or bills and stuff like that. And because of that, because the money that we were supposed to use to pay rent and bills, we saved that, and we kept working just as hard as we were working, extra hours, extra shifts, more jobs, and all that money we put away into our savings. And it took us like 2 years, I think, 2 years, um, to save. No, moving with family, and then we ended up moving from there to get a place that we rented, where it was much cheaper. It was much cheaper than the place we were renting previously. Very cheap, and we shared it. So it was me, my husband, we shared it with over another member. And so we were splitting that rent between the three of us, which was very cheap for us. And that really, even the bills were splitting it all. And that house was very cheap for us, so he helped us save more money compared to where we used to live before that. Okay, so, and then he ended up taking us like 3 years, 2 to 3 years, I think. I can't remember properly. This was back in 2016. Finally we came up with that £5,000 the bank was asking for us to give to pay for a deposit. Luckily for us, because we're first-time buyers, and we're first-time buyers, and they only needed 5% deposit. 5% deposit for a first-time buyer. If that means first-time buyer is, for those who don't know what that means, it just means if you've never bought a house before, you've never owned a house before, you've never had a mortgage before, and this is your first time to have a mortgage, then you are a first-time buyer. So and all we needed back then was 5% deposit, and that was £5,000. So eventually we managed to save that, and then we looked at houses, different houses, and made few visits to see some houses. We ended up finding one house that we liked, and we got that. So we took that, and then we made an offer, went to the bank, and then the bank sorted everything else. So it was very good. So even at the bank, they had their own solicitor, a lawyer who would take care of the legal things, and yeah, and it didn't take a long time for us to finally get the keys to the house. It only took a few months. I think it took less than 6 months before we had it. 6 to 7 months, I think. I don't remember exactly the exact date, but yeah, roughly around that time, 6 to 7 months, we finally had the keys to the house and we moved in. But when we had the keys, the house is not a new built house, a very old house. So it needed a lot of work to be done. So the floor needed doing, the walls needed doing. Apart from the ceiling was fine, but the walls, the floor, the windows, everything else needed doing. So before we could even move in, we had to pay people to come in and do the floor. So there was like a very old carpet that was in the house, and that carpet was just finished because it really had a bad smell to it, and it looks like a very, very old carpet. It just wasn't, we couldn't move in, it wasn't safe. So we had to get some few builders to come in and remove that carpet. We put in something else at our floor, so at least the floor was done. And then we ran out of money. And back then, when we were doing those things, I was on maternity leave because I just had my first child, and so I was on maternity leave. I had time off work, and then so the little money that we saved, all we could afford was to get someone to do the floor, and that's it. So we ran out of money, but at least with the floor the floor was done, it was livable, so we could move in. And so we moved in, and with the walls, all we had to do was paint the walls, which we did ourselves because obviously we didn't have money to pay anyone to do that. And then, so the house was livable at that point, but we didn't have furniture because, like I said, we ran out of money. So we did not have furniture for a while, for quite some time. But slowly, very slowly, we started saving again. But we couldn't save because I was on maternity leave. We couldn't save. We needed to keep the money, use the money for other things, for paying the mortgage monthly, pay that. Yeah, because with a mortgage, it's still, I don't know if you call it rent, because every month you still have to pay the bank for having that mortgage. So I think it's called rent. Is it rent? I'm not sure. But yeah, every month you still have to pay for the house. And being on maternity leave, I didn't have money. So we didn't buy any furniture, nothing like that. We managed to buy just only like a few furniture, nothing fancy, just so that we can have a place to sit. Yeah, that was it until when I went back to work after my maternity leave, went back to work. And so obviously I was getting then paid my full salary after maternity leave. And that's when slowly, very slowly, we start saving a little bit again to continue doing up the house. Like I said, that was back, we moved in 2000, from 2016 to 2000 and 2018 or 19, I think. Yeah, 2019 we moved in. So from 2016, that's when we wanted to get a mortgage. So we're doing our research and everything. And then it took time to save, to come up with a deposit. We ended up moving in 2019. No, Yes, 19. Um, so yeah, even until now, there's still a lot that need doing, like the garden need doing. Yeah, so it's a big project. I used to think when you get a mortgage, everything will be done, the house will be completely done inside and out, and you just move in. I didn't know that, they can sell a house and nothing, you still have to do the work. It's like a big project that takes up a lot of money. But anyway, that's the little bit about our mortgage journey. Just this is just a little touch. I'm gonna do a full long-term video, long form video, sorry, where I explain all these things in detail. Okay, so the like I said, this is a collection of stories, which my story, my experience. So another one is about my driving, how I learned how to drive a car. So initially, I had zero interest in learning how to drive a car. I didn't care. Like I was happy using public transport, and that was enough for me. I'll use the bus to go to work. I'll use the bus to come back home from work. I'll use the taxi to get anywhere I needed to go. So buses and taxis, that's the public transport. I didn't even think of like learning how to drive and stuff like that until then. I got married. I still wasn't interested in driving or buying a car. How long was I? Okay. And then when I had my first child, when I was pregnant, then I start thinking, and when I was getting near the end of, um, no, actually before getting near the end of the pregnancy, uh, I start thinking, wait a minute, I actually need to start learning how to drive a car now. I need to start taking my driving lessons now, because even though I was not interested in driving before, now I'm gonna have a baby, and I don't want to have to go through, to be waiting at a bus stop, especially with different weathers here. Yes, I was pregnant. Um, I didn't have to wait, because sometimes when you're waiting for buses at the bus stop, sometimes buses can be delayed, so you could be waiting for a long time. And here in UK, the weather is sometimes, if it's in winter, it's very cold. So I didn't want to have to wait, at the bus stop in winter where it's freezing for God knows how long. I will have to wait for buses with a little baby, a newborn, and whatever. I didn't want to have to go through that. It was easier just by myself, but with a baby, I don't think I didn't. I mean, I have nothing against anyone. If you don't have a way to, to get a car or to pay for driving lessons because they are very expensive, then the only choice is use public transport with kids, little children. But I wanted to start driving. I wanted to start taking my lessons. So I got in touch with instructors. I got one, and I remember my first driving lesson. It was very intimidating. I was very scared because prior to that lesson, I never been in a I've sat on a driving seat, but just for fun. Like I didn't even think of, oh, I could actually drive this car or anything like that. So with my instructor, so with my instructor, with my instructor, I had to we sat in a car in his car, and then he asked me, have you ever drove a car before? Have you had any practice or any lessons previously? And I said no. And he said that's a good thing, because it means you don't have any bad habits, and so you don't have to learn things, unlearn things and then relearn, you know what I mean? So he said that's good that you don't have any bad habits, and we can just start. So just an introduction of what the different, parts of the car are. So the pedals, is explaining to me what the pedals are and what they're used for. So like, because I learned on the manual car, my first lessons were with a manual car. You can't hear me? Hello? Hi, can you hear me, guys? Hello, hello. So manual car, and obviously there are 3 pedals, and sounds working. Yes, we can. All right. 3 pedals, and he told me what those pedals are and what they're used for. So he told me the best way to remember what these 3 pedals are is to just go ABC. And he said A is for um, accelerator, B is for brake, and then C is for clutch. And he was teaching me how to use those different pedals. And also the gearbox, how to change gears and stuff like that. So it's just like an introducing me to the car, really. I spent 1 hour with the instructor, and he went over those, and then we went to the car park. He took me to a car park, and it was a quiet day. It was a weekend, and there were not many cars at that car park. So that's right. So you can hear me now. That's much better. Okay. Yeah, and then it gave me I obviously was driving the car, and I remember I was driving very slowly because I was so intimidated by the fact that I'm actually driving a car. I was used to people driving me everywhere. Um it was a very scary time for me, and I don't know why I was scared to drive a car. Anyway, so that was first lesson. It was just 1 hour. We finished, and I had booked another lesson, another hour next day. So next day, my instructor picked me up. We went to the same car park, and I drove to the car park from my house. And then I remember from my house to that car park, I had to drive through a big road, and it was a busy road. So getting through that road was very scary for me. Yes, it was very scary for me. And luckily, obviously, instructors have full control of the car, even if the learner um, is driving. So it was difficult for me to use those pedals because the clutch, I could not master the clutch. I remember the ice. I ended up taking lessons with different instructors, and they were all teaching me how to master the clutch, and I couldn't get it. And also, I remember I couldn't turn right. I could only turn left. That was easy. This is in UK. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but left turns were easy because you know you understand if you drove in UK, because different countries your left turn might be difficult compared to the right turn. But anyway, left turn was fine, but right turns, very hard. And also, the other thing with driving manual that I found very difficult is I realized my brain was not communicating with the rest of with my feet where the pedals are. So every time I'm pressing either the accelerator or the brake or the clutch, I found myself looking down at my feet while I'm pressing any of those pedals. And obviously, you can't be looking, and also even changing the gears or indicating, I had to look while I'm changing the gear, which means my eyes will be off the road and down, looking at what my hands and my feet are doing. And that's no, you don't drive like that. You have to keep your eyes on the road all the time. And your brain is supposed to tell you, you're just supposed to change the gear without looking. You're supposed to press the pedals, whichever you need to press, without looking. And indicators and everything. You can't look away from the road when you're driving. You must always look, on the road. So I'm not qualified. Just as a quick As a quick disclaimer, I'm not like a qualified, like I'm not a driving instructor or anything like that. This is just my story I'm sharing with you guys. So it was difficult for me, and my instructors kept telling me, "You are when you are, you know, you keep taking your eyes off the road and looking at the things you're doing in the car." So if I wanted to indicate either left or right, I would look at my hand, moving that indicator to where I needed to move it. And I kept doing that all the time, looking away from the road. And even though I knew I wasn't supposed to do that, I wasn't supposed to take my eyes off the road, I kept doing that and I couldn't stop myself. And the instructors have been telling me, don't do that, don't do that. I didn't get it. Um, so I spent so much money learning to drive in a manual car, and I still was struggling big time. Eventually, we left. I wasn't driving at the car around the car park only, and the instructor decided to take me on the main road so I can learn the different, because there are different scenarios and that take place on main road. Loads of things happen there, so I needed to learn how to manage driving on the main road as well. So I need to come across different scenarios on the main road and learn. So I was driving, but I still struggled with the clutches. The clutch was like I can't do it. So hours and hours. I took like how many lessons? More than 10 lessons, more than actually 20 lessons, I have to say. More than 20 lessons I took on, driving lessons using manual car. And every time my instructors would tell me you're not ready for a test and I knew I wasn't ready for the test. They were right because, to take the practical test. Because we did mock tests, actually. I remember one time after taking so many lessons, over 20 lessons, over 20 driving lessons. And I kept telling the instructors, I want to book my practical lesson. And he kept saying, you're not ready for that. And I felt like I was ready. So I said, I'm ready. I want to try, even if you think I'm not ready. So he said, okay, let's do a mock test first. So we did a mock test where he's telling me where to turn, where to go, what to do, took it seriously, just like it was a test. Obviously, it's a mock test. And I kept failing the mock test. I kept failing. I think it's because I was very nervous. Very nervous. So I kept making silly mistakes. And so I was like, okay, so I'm not ready for the actual test. Well, when I was finally ready to apply, to take, because I remember once one of my instructors said, because I had loads of different instructors that I learned from, whether it was a good thing or bad thing, but I remember I learned something really good from every single one of my driving instructors. So one of them said, okay, you can go ahead and book your practical test. And I booked it. But when I was booking it, I realized my theory driving certificate has expired, because that meant I couldn't go ahead and do a practical test, because in UK, obviously, you got to, before you can book your practical test, you have to your theory driving test has to be valid still. But mine was not valid when I checked, so that meant I had to go and do another another driving theory test. Okay, so that meant booking it, because you have to book for that test the nearest date I could get, and the nearest date was, I think it was like 2 months away. I booked that one, and then I did the test. I passed first time, and then that meant I continued with my driving lessons. And then what happened is Past that, and then I don't know why, with my driving lessons, I kept not doing well with my driving lessons. And eventually I said, you know what? I've spent so many hours, over 30 hours at this point, of driving, trying to learn how to drive in a manual car. And I was not getting anywhere at all. And it was just me. It wasn't the instructor's fault. It was just me. I wasn't getting it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna try automatic. I want to learn how to drive in the automatic car because at that point I just wanted to pass um, a practical test so I can start driving my own car. Because at that point I had the baby, and now at this point I'm a mom, and it was really hard getting to places with a new baby. I really needed a car. So I said I'm gonna learn to drive in a manual car. And they said manual cars, if you want to learn how to drive, take lessons in manual cars. The lessons are more expensive, but it's easier. They said compared to automatic cars. Sorry, I said I wanted to learn how to drive in the automatic cars, automatic lessons, driving lessons. And those are more expensive, I think, because they're easier. Automatic less car driving lessons are easier. So I said I'm gonna do those lessons instead. So it was with the same instructor, and we switched to automatic. And I remember the first time I learned how to drive in the automatic car, it was a game changer for me. I noticed how easy it was because in the automatic car, there's no clutch. And my biggest problem was clutch. I couldn't control the clutch. And now that I'm driving without a clutch, I didn't have to worry about um, controlling the car. So it was just easy with the automatic lessons. I didn't have to change gears that much. I didn't have to go first gear, second gear, third gear, and so on. Thank you, thank you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I enjoyed that first driving lesson in the automatic car. I enjoyed it so much because I found it so easy. I had spent like over a year learning to drive in a manual car, and I kept finding it difficult even after that length of time that I've spent learning. And my first lesson in the automatic car it was a bliss. It was so easy for me, and I loved it. So second lesson we went. I was like, wow, I don't need loads of lessons in this automatic car. I'm ready to take my test because now I didn't have to worry about controlling the car. I had the full control of the car, and all I could do is focus on the situations that are taking place on the road and paying more attention to what's going on in the road, planning ahead and my turns and stuff like that. Because the car is fine, like it's automatic. I don't need to do much. So I think I took 5 lessons in the automatic car, and then after that I went to apply for my practical driving test. Now again, I checked when I was about to apply for my practical driving test. I checked my theory driving test, and the certificate again had expired. And I was not happy at all that it had expired. So I had to book the nearest test again, another another theory test, and it took another. I think the nearest date for a theory test was 3 months. So from the moment I was going to apply, the nearest one was 3 months away. You subscribed all my videos. Thank you so much. So I booked a theory driving test for this time. Is like the third time, for the third time. So I had to see this theory test 3 times. And I remember that third time I sat it, I did not revise. I didn't know, even though I've done it two times previously, the test, I was so not happy about having to do this test again. So I did not revise. I did not remind myself about the test, and I just left it like that. And I went to the test to do this theory driving test, having not revised at all. I didn't do anything, and I started the test, and I failed. I didn't pass, so I failed um my theory driving test for the first time, and that's because obviously I didn't prepare. I didn't read the books, nothing like that. Okay, so everything is taking long now. I'm ready to do my practical driving test, but it's my theory driving test that I need to make sure that the certificate is within date. That so what I did, I had to straight away. I booked another one. I booked another theory driving test. Okay, and I had at this point I had stopped taking driving lessons because I ran out of money. I eventually ran out of money. The little budget I had towards my driving lessons. Initially, I thought I wasn't going to need to take that many lessons, that many driving lessons, you know. And then and it took me longer than I thought. I spent so much on my driving lessons. It's ridiculous. Up until today, I've never sat down and calculated how much I spent on my driving lessons because it's so much. Because I just don't want to know that number. It's very big, but I don't want to know because it only upset me. Anyway, I did my uh theory test for the is it fourth time? No, third time, and I passed it. I was very happy, and straight away I booked my practical driving test as well. And on the day of the test, I remember telling my instructor saying, "Okay, I'm gonna be in the car with you. I want you to to be in the car with me during the exam. Yeah, the practical exam, the practical driving exam." I told my instructor to be in the car with me along with the examiner. And I did my exam, my practical driving exam, and I failed it. That was my first time ever taking a practical driving exam, and I failed it. So I booked it again, and the second time I asked my instructor to be in the car with me while I'm doing the test. Again, I failed it the second time. The third time, I said, okay, I don't want my instructor in the car with me. I only wanted the examiner in the car, and I passed. So I passed the third time my practical driving test, and then that was a big win. I was so happy. Finally, I passed, but I passed it on the um and I remember coming home and telling my husband I passed my driving test, my practical driving test. I was so happy. And then I got myself a small cheap car that I could find, and I start driving. I could finally drive, but obviously I still had that newly driver. There's this card you can put like you can put a pass as the P. It's just like a card, a laminated card with a P on it, meaning pass. I used to put that on my car every time I drive, just to show other drivers that I'm still a new. I've just passed my test. I'm still new at driving. Please be patient with me. And I kept that on my car for a long time, for over a year, as I was gaining more and more experience on the road and getting more and more confident on the road. Yeah, that's it. That was like I've been driving for years now. So that's my story. Yeah, it took me a very long time before I could finally pass my driving test. I took the test three times, my practical, and I finally passed. But I spent so much money taking those lessons, so much money, and it was very expensive. But I was very determined to work, and I was literally just working to pay for my driving test. I mean, driving lessons. It was crazy. But anyway, that's done and dusted now. Thank God. Thank God for that. Right, so think I'm gonna have to go. Well, I'll be back. I just need to step out for a few minutes and I'll come back. So bear with me. If you need to leave and do something else, that's fine. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm trying. Honestly, you know what? Guess what happened today on my YouTube channel? Something happened, right? And I wasn't, well, actually, I'm used to it now. Today, I lost over 50 subscribers on my YouTube channel. The numbers were just going down, 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 down. It's like everyone was unsubscribing. I was like, what on earth is happening? But you know, I'm used to this. I know, like over 50 subscribers. It's like over 50 people were just unsubscribing, unsubscribing, unsubscribing one after the other. Like every minute there'll be someone has unsubscribed. No, that's fine. I'm used to it. This is the game of YouTube. It goes up and down. Yeah, I know. I know it definitely wasn't you. I know, but that's fine. You know, I'm used to it. I've been on YouTube for over 5 years, since 2021. So I'm used to this game. It doesn't bother me anymore. It used to hurt. It used to break my heart when I lose subscribers like that. It used to break my heart, and then I'll go for days feeling awful. But and then the numbers will go up again. You know, some people come in and they will subscribe, and yeah, so I'm used to it. Well, thank you anyway. Thank you. It's just that this one is a big number all at once. So I was like, what is going on? Yeah, the people who do that will come back. Yeah, maybe they'll come back. Hopefully they do, but if not, it's fine. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the heart. You can't take it too seriously, like when things like that happen with, being a content creator. Things go up and down, and that's just, you can't be, you know what I mean? You can't beat yourself up. Yeah, so how was your day anyway? How's everyone? I know it's nighttime. If you're in UK, it's definitely late. It's definitely late. Tiger Shadow, I like. Tiger Shadow. You're only on 360. You're on 360. What's 360? What's the type? Is that Tiger Shadow? You said someone wrote Shelby. You said what's Tiger Shadow? And you liked. Thank you for liking. I was watching the boxing tonight with my son. All right, that's nice. Boxing. Wow. Boxing. You're only on 360. So I mean subscribers. Well, are you on YouTube as well? Like do you create videos on YouTube, Irish Jimmy? You're welcome. You're welcome. Was live in London. You was live in London. Oh, I see. Well, I've never subscribed to YouTube. What can you give me a YouTube account if I check you out? You can subscribe. I didn't know. You do gaming, right? 6 9. You do gaming. If you, I would like to check your gaming channel. If you don't mind putting it on there, I can just check your channel and then I'll subscribe to your channel. Well, that's up to you if you want to share that on there. Okay. Right, you know what? I need to charge my phone. This one. This other phone. Okay. Okay, so at Irish Jimmy. Okay. Let me get that. I didn't know. I didn't know you make videos on YouTube. I had no clue. You appreciate the follow back, of course. Yeah. Well, how can I not follow you? You've been very loyal on my channel. Like I just didn't know you had your own account as well. As Irish. I would have followed you back a long time ago if I knew. Okay. Right. So I'm seeing an account here. If you don't mind, I'm just trying to make sure that I've got the right one. So you got 367 subscribers, 16 videos. Is that yours? You don't mind? Yeah, because I want to make sure I'm subscribing to the right channel. That's yours. Okay. That's it. I've subscribed. Ooh, view channel. I see. Wow. I'm looking at your channel right now. Yeah, I've already subscribed. Cool. Interesting. That's I like it. It's really nice. Yeah. So I've subscribed. Okay. It's a photo of me in Dublin on the profile. Yeah. Just have a look. Yeah, I see. That's it. I see. There's a photo, and that then yeah, that's in Dublin. I've never been to Dublin. I've been to Wales. You're welcome. I've been to Wales. That's about it. I don't really travel that much. Yeah. Right. So, I'm taking my son in April 11th to stay overnight, and I'll do a video of. Right. Okay. I remember. Yeah, you mentioned that before. Okay. Thank you for the hat. Okay. I was just replying to a message. Right. So, okay. What did I eat today? I try to remember what did I eat. Yeah. So I had fish. I had fish. Fish. I had some vegetables as well. I had kale. What else? And steak. I had steak as well. Yeah. You know what? I'm trying to stick to a diet. If initially, because I've been on some ever since I had my kids, my weight has gone up tremendously. So I used to be I was a very no I wouldn't say I had a healthy weight, a healthy BMI, and then I had kids, and then my BMI just went to the wrong side, the wrong end of it. But and then I've been trying to stick to a diet. I've been on so many diets. Obviously, none of them have worked. Um, and I'm not that. I do exercise a little bit, but I don't like exercising. I have to be honest. I don't like exercising because I don't like the aches, you know. But after I've done some exercise, I feel better. I love the feeling afterwards, but I don't like doing it because I could exercise for one day, then my whole body aches, um, everything hurts, and then after that, the next day, you have to drag me to exercise again because I'll be literally crying, and then I'll exercise only because I remember how I feel afterwards. I feel so much healthier. And then, sorry, I ordered me and my son pizza garlic bread. Oh my gosh, that sounds so tasty. Pizza. Okay, the best thing to lose weight is drink 8 pints of water a day. I do drink loads of water, you know. I drink so much water. Loads of water. Water flushes out of the system. Yeah, that's right. But you know what? I drink so much water, but then I eat. Oh. So yeah, I've tried different diets. I'm a good yeah, so my weight is not where I want it to be. Um, it's not where I want it to be honest. It's okay, but it's not where I want it to be. I want to go down again a bit more. So recently, like I said, I've been on so many different diets, and none of them they're not long term. They only work short term. But previously I was on a different diet, which is protein only diet. So I could eat everything but carbs. So, no potatoes, not rice, no the fufu I eat, which is one of my favorite food. And anything that's got protein and vegetables and fruits, I'll eat that. So the steaks, the fish, the chickens, fruits and vegetables, I'll have those, and plenty of water or tea. So that's what I was on for 2 months. And that really worked. It worked wonders. 2 months, and I lost so much weight. You need to start a new diet in May. Yeah, protein diet is really good. Because with protein diet, I was not starving myself. Because I've done some diets in the past where I starved myself, like I would. Oh, that wasn't good. I don't even want to say that on here. But protein diet is good because you get to eat. You get to eat, and then you're not gonna be full. I wasn't too full like I would, and I wasn't bloated anymore because carbs can make you feel bloated a bit, and sugars. Yeah, so I cut down on sugar as well during my protein only diet. So I just was drinking just water. Sometimes, every now and then, I have tea because I love tea. I can't just cut down on tea 100%. So I was still having tea. When I was on diet, I was drinking green tea. When now I'm drinking the old coffee. Okay. Yeah. So 2 months, I managed to be on a protein only diet with minimum oil as well and minimum sugar, and that worked. I literally lost weight a lot. But still not enough because my aim is to lose 30 kilograms. It's not easy to lose 30 kilograms. So obviously 2 months was not enough to lose 30 kilograms. I still have a long way to go. Yeah. When I make tea, I have to put honey in my tea. I hate sugar. Oh, you know what? Honey is really good. I keep forgetting to buy honey, although I would prefer to have honey in my tea. Um, but I always forget to buy honey. But anyway, what I use instead of sugar is the sweetness. You know, the sweetness. I will use those. I don't know if they're better, but yeah. Honey tastes, yeah, honey tastes nice. But sweetness instead of sugars, normal sugar, I will use that in my tea. Yeah, the small, yeah, honey tastes really nice. So yeah, yeah, I mean, one day, but after 2 months, um, for some reason, I saw rice one day, or and I was like, I have to. I came home from work and I got in the kitchen. My husband made rice, and I saw the rice and I was starving. I was like, I can't wait to eat. I have to eat something. So I ate the rice and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to. I can't stop. I have to keep eating carbs now. Oh, so that was it. I ruined my diet. Yeah, I ruined my diet, and I've got to go back to it at some point because the journey's not over yet. That's right. Yeah, when you're bored, you eat more. Honestly, that's right. Someone told me that before I eat, I have to drink loads of water first, tons of water before eating a meal, because that will trick my brain into thinking there's no much space in my stomach for too much food, and then eat. Yeah, and then also while eating, drinking water, more water. So that way I'll feel full earlier, and then I'll stop eating. You smoke cigarettes, and now 3 years of them. So I eat more. Oh, so you stopped the cigarettes and now you just eat more. Mm. Wow, it's not easy. It's not easy. Yeah, so water with meal, that helps. And then honestly, and it's just a habit. Like when I'm bored now, I have to tell myself instead of eating, I can just drink water. You know what I mean? Because I'm not starving. You know, you, we eat more. When you have food, you end up eating more than you're supposed to, more than the body needs. Oh, good distance. All right. Okay. Yeah. So food is nice. Food is good. I love food. I have to admit, I love food. Everyone does. When I'm on diet, I have one junk day. Yes, you have to. You have to, because it's hard to stick to a diet long term without having a day, at least one day where you can just eat anything you want, whatever you want, breaking the diet. It's a must. But I think the thing is the tricky thing about having you enjoy doing the diet more. That could work differently to different people. So you stick to a diet for a good period of time, and then you have that one day where you eat anything you want. And then for some people it becomes harder to stop that and go back to the original diet. For some people they don't go back, they just continue eating the food that they've missed eating, that they've not been eating for a while, for a long time, and that just continues, and before you know it, the diet is out the window. Portion, yeah, portion size, that's right. Benjamin, hi Benjamin, you okay? Portion size. Half the portion. Just to eat half. Loads of vegetables. What to do? What to do? Hi, welcome guys. I see more people are coming. Welcome. Yes, please follow me. I'm amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you for coming. I can't believe I lost over 50 subscribers today. It's crazy. I don't know what I did to anyone. What did I do wrong? Thank you, thank you. I'll get them back, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Only time will tell. So you play a lot of video games then? I know some people say if you follow someone, they should follow back in 24 hours. Are you lose follows? Oh, 24 hours, or you lose followers. Um, yeah, just when I'm in the mood, I play games online. Okay. I don't know how to play games online. I would love to. I've tried once, not online, just like PXP, is it PSP? I don't even know. But yeah, they're so like you can get into it a lot. Like I found out that if I play games a lot more, I'll get addictive. Because I'll enjoy so much because I did play I sat down and I played a football game online, and it was so good. I could sit there all day and just play. And I would need is my food and drink next to me, and I'm good. So I was like, wow, I don't think this is for me because I could be here forever. A cat football game. Oh, a cat football game. You mean the one there are cars involved in a football game? Oh, it's harder for you to focus on games. Right. How come? Oh, you hit the ball with a car. Oh, okay. So it's a football or car ball. It's still called football. Try to score. So it's a car ball then. Car ball. I would call it car ball since there are no feet involved. Oh, when you're in your late 30s, your eyesight sight gets worse. Oh my gosh, really? That's just a fact. Everyone at that age, the eyesight start getting worse. Because even to be honest, myself, I'm supposed to be wearing short sighted for real. I'm short sighted, but I don't like glasses. Right. So it could because of that, because the eyes are affected, it could hurt the eyes. Like you could just feel like you can't focus, like you said. So and it could give you like a bit of headache as well because you're trying to focus, trying to see, you know. Hi, welcome. Yeah, you can never see that far. Yeah, me too. I can't read writing that is a bit far. Mm. Keep driving. No, okay. Hello to you too. Yeah, it is what it is. So I prefer contact lenses, is it? I prefer those. I think both those ones you just have to be good at, keeping them clean, or I think you can switch them. You don't have to reuse them. I don't know. Just keeping them clean and knowing how to put them into the eyes, remembering to take them out as well. Okay, you need glasses at night. All right. Okay. I wonder why. Daytime is fine, but nighttime you go to wear glasses. Right. For reading, okay. For reading. Mm. You've always been that way. Short sighted, you mean? Oh, right. Yeah, I think me too. I don't know. I don't know if it's pregnancy that I've made it that way, but let me think. When I did my eye test, trying to remember the first time I ever did eye test that I remember at least. Um, but I don't know. But they say it gets worse. Your eyesight also gets worse. Uh, with women, if you've been pregnant a few times, it affect your eyesight get worse as well. So I don't know if that's why I can't. I don't know. I'm short sighted or I have no idea. Yeah, that's what I heard. My nurse, no, my nurse, the lady who was looking after me during my pregnancy said so. She told me, your eyesight get worse when you're pregnant. I was like, wow. Even your teeth health gets worse as well. But I think that's only during pregnancy with teeth, but then after with eyesight, I think that just carries on afterwards. Eat your carrots, you never see you never see a rabbit with glasses on. Oh, is that true though? Carrots are good for eyesight. I've heard that many times. Is it carrot or cabbage? Yeah, carrots. I don't know if it's true or if it's just a way to get people to eat veggies. It's not true. It's not true. I've heard that many times. People saying carrots are good for eyesight, but you know, it's not true. It's just a way of trying to get you to eat your carrots, your vegetables. Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, parents, you have to trick, yeah, go, make tricks and so on to get your kids to eat the right food. I don't know why kids don't like vegetables. Yeah, I don't know. Kids don't like vegetables. I don't know why. Night lights on your eyes. Oh, on my phone helps. Yeah, your phone. Hmm. Okay. So I think I've reached the end of this live only because it's really late. So after this live, I'll do. Let me see. I was thinking of maybe doing one more long form video, but I might have to do that tomorrow instead because it's really late. I need my sleep. I've got a busy day ahead tomorrow. Okay, stay blessed. Oh, thank you so much. Stay blessed yourself. And yeah, and hopefully next time on a different live. Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for keeping this interesting. And take care. Bye bye.